right. Hello, I'm Chris,
And I'm Damon.
and this is Critical Insights, the podcast that hates the term imaginary friend. Today, we'll be going over another student film made by the same guys as last time, Sage, Damon, and Cedar. The film is titled Imagine That, and it shows the story of the main character, played by Sage, being ridiculed by a nondescript bully, played by Cedar, so he actually gets more of a role this time. Yeah.
Did he ever role in the first movie? I don't recall. No, he was seen in one scene. Like
Yeah,
shaking
one
hands,
scene,
right?
For Sage, having an imaginary friend, played by Damon. This results in said friend murdering the antagonist, Cedar, which I think finishes the first half of the film. That takes up 1 minute, right?
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Yeah. The second half starts with the main character gloating about Damon, or about the friend being real. Hold on. And after that, the two remaining characters are just talking with each other, normally, when Sage, mentions the phrase imaginary friend, which then then takes Damon off into a short chase scene in which Sage is then beat up afterwards, killing her, and then what happens at the end?
Causing the imaginary friend to no longer exist.
Yeah. So with that out of the way, let's start with your thoughts about it.
All right. This was not only the scariest thing that I've ever witnessed, but this is arguably the most horrifically terrifying thing that has ever existed. Period. The emotion packed within this film is borderline blasphemous. The terror I felt when the imaginary friend turned upon their own creator was the single scariest thing ever. Just period. There's never been anything scarier than that moment. I'm not biased. Even with this in mind, the problems that will lie within this film are sadly abundant and sadly obvious. It is jaundice. That's the main problem with the film, I'm going to be honest here. It just is jaundice. Something messed up with the camera settings. We have no idea what. Don't blame us. It was the imaginary friend's fault.
Yeah.
He did it without us looking, clearly. But the entire film has jaundice. That's the main and the largest problem with this entire film. With this kept in mind, the upsides of this film are infinitely more abundant. It is terror incarnate. The soundtrack is obscenely good. It is like one entire song playing throughout the entire thing. It's like 2 minutes long, okay? It's perfect. There's nothing better ever. The acting is more pristine than the last films, and that's saying something. This last film basically had professional actors on set,
Yes.
okay? Yeah. The acting is so much better than the last one. There was more characters in the last film even, okay? Actually, technically, there was 3 in the last film, but that doesn't count because he was there for 5 seconds.
Yes.
The joy and the sadness I felt, and the anger I felt when Cedar, the big bully man, get choked out and die from the imaginary friend was... I couldn't comprehend. They just killed off a character this early into the film. It's truly incomprehensible.
Yeah.
Props to them for having the guts to kill off a third of their cast.
Yeah. Yeah, and the fact that they...
A third of their team.
Yeah, and the fact that they have, Sage gloat about it.
Oh, that was very funny. It's a horror comedy, obviously.
Yes.
But the sheer terror that I felt when I realized, hey, the imaginary friend is real in this scenario, and they can kill people, that was truly something to think about. I had 14 heart attacks while watching this film because and it was very expensive because I had to get resuscitated every single one of those, and it's not cheap to go to the hospital and get resuscitated. And when I showed this to my pet cockroach, it died of heart failure, even though cockroaches have 13 hearts. As a scientific fact, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this movie should be rated as a health hazard, as anyone who ever watches it will die of heart failure, and they will need to be resuscitated, and that will cost them a lot of money, or they'll just straight up die.
Yeah.
All right, after going over all my thoughts of this film, let's head over to Chris's notes on this film.
Yeah. Thank you. Ah. So, I'll just start this off by pointing out the ironic comedy part of this film, as you somewhat touched on. But yeah, it gave me a good laugh or the first time I watched it. Just, I can't exactly remember what it was, but it was something. I think it had to do with the camera, but not in a rude way. But yeah, but it was just enjoyable too. Like, just, yeah. I'll say the plot's like a little more, like a little less unique than the pepper spray, but it's still good. Like, I don't have issues with it. But yeah. But yeah, speaking of the camera, yeah, it seems to have jaundice, which from what I've heard, Sage actually seems to have had as a kid, but yeah, again, that wasn't intentional, but I don't actually mind the jaundice looking camera. Because it gives a more dreamlike look to it. Just like, as if, this is, yeah, all dream at. What am I saying? But especially combined with the intentional blur around the edges in a sort of vignette pattern. And I like the death
Okay,
scenes.
just like don't tell them that was not intentional. I have no idea how that got there. Okay.
Yeah.
That wasn't added in editing. I don't know why it's there. I don't know what the crap was wrong with that camera, but there's a lot of things wrong with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I assume the blur was intentional, though.
No.
Oh, that wasn't as well?
No, we have no idea.
Just
what
like
caused-
around?
Yeah, I don't. That wasn't intentional. I'm gonna be
Oh.
honest. Don't tell them that though. That was entirely intentional right there.
Okay. Yeah, cut that out, Sage.
We don't talk about that.
Yeah.
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 Making the final edit.
Yeah. Okay. But anyway, but on to the death scenes. I actually like them a lot. Just, they're so fluid, which, I mean, it is a bit unrealistic, but, I mean, that's what I love about films sometimes. Just those, like, bits and pieces where, like, it's not, like, how it would actually go, but just makes it more, artistic, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, and also the acting is still pretty good, as, the last film was. Though the voicing was actually pretty... Though there were actually voices, so probably wouldn't give it a step up or anything just for that, because... Whatever. But I'll say, I also just, yeah, like the general plot. I don't know if I said that. Did I say that?
I don't know. I can't forgot.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, but point is, yeah, I really like it, especially the middle section where Sage is just like gloating. Like, it does kind of give like that rush, like, oh Lord. That's the time I almost swore on camera. But anyway, I don't know, I just like it. And my last point is that I like the title of it, because, like, it sounds so sarcastic, like, oh, imagine that. But it's literally about an imaginary friend, and what was I going to say? I don't know. But yeah, it's just, I just like it also just because of the plot. Just, yeah. Point is, I like it. Anyway, so I will give this film an 8.5 out of 10, because I actually, again, enjoyed it quite a bit, and yeah. So yeah. Anyway, we will now head over to Sage for her final points about the film before we do all the group rating stuff.
Before we head over to Sage, we're going to be doing a quick little intermission here. Yeah, just fun for fun.
I'm Sage McCann, and this is my opinion on the film that we directed and acted
There's
in.
no bias.
No bias, yeah. Okay, so the camera, like Damon said, it looks like it has jaundice. Like, as someone who had jaundice as a child, this is really sickening, but it's true. Like, we all look like Simpson characters. Like, when I was born, I looked like a Simpson character. So, I mean, we could have done like a horror Simpson film at this point, but we didn't know that the camera had issues. But, oh well. Acting was amazing from Damon and Cedar. Like, wow, 10 out of 10. Sage kind of sucked though. Like, she's a drama student, but her acting, like, girl, your dad paid for all those drama lessons as a kid, and like, you have the audacity to be like, oh, I'm getting chased. Oh, like, no, like, be better. I love the suspenseful music. It made it more like intense, interesting, and really captivated the viewers. Like, it just, yeah, I love music, and it just made it so much better. Like, you can't have a film without music. I mean, silent films, but you know. So I think the deaths were very terrifying. Sometimes while we were filming, it was just so hard. It was like, oh, I have to act like I'm dead? I can't do that. That's so difficult. But we made it believable, and that's the best acting I did. It's better than most horror movies. Like, it's just so much better than, like, Michael Myers. Like, that's just so, like, unoriginal. Like, our idea is, like, just so much better. And I know I sound sarcastic, but I am being so true right now. But yeah, I feel like the deaths could have looked a little more realistic, especially with Sage. Like, Sage, come on, girl. Like, I don't know. I think she should be banned from the acting world. She kind of sucks. And I love the part where Sage gets beat up at the end because she deserves it. Like, I just did not like her character at all. It was a great fake fighting scene. It just really, like, was so intense and powerful. This has been nominated for the Best Picture at the 2024 Oscars, but we did not win, which I think was kind of rigged, but whatever. I give this film a 10 out of 10. And this is Critical Insights. Thank you for watching, and we will see you later.